Hey everybody, long time no see. I know it's been a while since we did some kind of update, so before I get into what's happening around the homestead and whatnot, I want to tell you about something else that we're doing. If you follow me on Google Plus or on Facebook, this is what I was talking about, something entirely different. If you're not interested in something different, you want to get back to what's happening with the gardening and animals and whatever, I'll post another video after this one with a short little update on what's happening around the homestead. Okay, so what's entirely different? We are venturing into a weight loss program. Now before you hit pause and X and everything else, let me tell you what this isn't. This is not a sales pitch or anything like that. I have no interest nor any intention, and I will not be selling anything. This is nothing more than just a, hey friends, this is what we're doing. I have always had a weight problem. I was a little chubby kid in school. I joined the Army as soon as I was 18, 19-ish. Had got weight down to join the military. Weight went down even more when I was in the military, and as soon as I got out and wasn't doing PT and got back to all the junk food I used to love, it all came right back on. And kind of did, just to suffice it up, a couple plans that worked great, but then I stopped using the plan and so on and so forth, and just been a cycle. Well, Jennifer's kind of had the same similar experience. Of course, she's given birth to 5 children, and that does some kind of toll on the body, let me tell you. And so we are both to the point where we just want to feel better. You know, that one of the things in our little program that was a big deal was the why. You know, why do you want to do this? And I'm not going to get into that because they're pretty personal things. But suffice it to say, we just want to feel better. A lot of the work that we do on the farm is here and there. It's not constant work that builds up the heart rate, or that really works on your muscles. It's go outside for an hour, do this, and then a couple days later when we find some time, we go out for an hour and do a little bit of that. And it's not the kind of stuff that really keeps your body in shape like a full-time farm would do. So we are investing, or have invested, in a program to kind of keep us on track. And let me tell you what we're doing just for the sake of it. It's a program that's been around for quite a while, actually, called Power 90. From a website called Beachbody, and we chose this program for a couple reasons. Number one, it was recommended by a dear friend who testified that it was a good program and it worked for him in the past. We also like the deadline on it. Jennifer and I have some pretty linear minds, and if we just sit there and tell ourselves, you know, hey, I'm going to wake up every morning and get on the exercise bike, it ain't going to happen. It goes for a few days, and then one day we don't feel so good, and it just doesn't happen. So the neat thing about this Power 90 is that it's a 90-day program. You work for 6 days, you take 1 day off, and you keep going. And it's a nice thing to have a time limit as our goal, and not a weight limit. It's nice. It works for us. It helps us think about the program differently. To sit there and say, okay, we already finished day 1 today. We already did that earlier today. And so now all of a sudden it's P89. We got 1 day gone, and all we got to do is keep ticking it down. And that helps. That helps with the way that we think and the problems that we've had in the past with weight loss. So why am I putting it on our program here? Because it has nothing to do with gardening or anything like that, right? Well, I disagree. I think it has a lot to do with self-sustainability. Part of this program is going to have us eating a little healthier. We already eat a lot of the stuff off of our own property and so on. But things like portion control and regularity of when we eat throughout the day is going to help us. And by doing so, I think will help us get more into the grazing mindset of having a more homestead kind of lifestyle. I think it's going to put us in better health so that we can work the property better and get more done on the property, and a whole bunch of other things that really tie to what we're trying to do here on our homestead. So what we intend to do is about every 2 weeks, I will come back and shoot a short little clip and let you know how things are going. I'll pause for just a second and tell you that I'm not going to post any pictures of the big fat guy, okay? I'm titling this Fat Farmer just because it helps me a little bit to kind of poke a little fun at myself. So the Fat Farmer is going to get out there and try to become a little more of a skinnier farmer. So I'm not going to post any ugly pictures of myself, but I'll share these numbers with you. So I'm going to pause for just a second and flash these numbers up on the screen. And supposedly what we'll see a big decrease of are the inches. And you know, the weight thing, we have to remember that muscle is more dense than fat. And so as we can decrease in size, we won't decrease as quickly as we might think in weight. So really we'll see it in our clothes and how we look rather than in our weight immediately. So we'll just see. We'll see how things go. And every 2 weeks I'll come and I'll give you an update on the numbers and just tell you how we're feeling about the program. We've already done the day one so far today, and I can tell you that I feel it, but I can also tell you that I feel good. There's nothing that, I'm not, collapsed on the floor in a crying heap of fat farmer begging for mercy. So I feel good about being able to wake up tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be a bit sore, but I'll be ready to go ahead and do day 2 and notch another mark off of the calendar for this thing. Mention quickly also about the eating. We are not going to follow a strict diet. I am not going to purchase supplements. I think they're a waste of money. So forgive me on that. There's not very much. One thing I do like about this program, they mention the supplements and he says it would help, but there's not a big push on it. So I kind of like that because really what I'm looking for is the structure that helps me actually get it done and the fact that I'm just actually moving. So I think that's going to be the key for me. So we are going to prescribe to a smaller list of foods that's acceptable to us. And you guys already know all this stuff. No soda. Staying away from sugar is every chance that we get. And if I'm having coffee, it's going to be that black coffee, and teas without the sugars in it, and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, you know how that works. Smaller portions and things like that. So it's when it really boils down to it, if you're looking for a program, you've heard all this stuff before. You don't need some guy standing in the woods with a phone videotaping himself to tell you, only eat this and only eat this amount and whatever else. You need smaller portions. You need to eat, food that is more closer to the source, less refined, less processed, and all that kind of stuff. So appreciate you holding on for the long banter. I'm going to stop this so that I can turn around and shoot you another video and let you know how things have been going on the homestead. So look forward to see you next time. Catch ya.